My most successful video is, and probably will always be, the little piece I did on The Hard Part 6 by Drake, in which I was very critical. But if you really know my channel, you really know my work, I am not a Drake hater, I'm a Drake observer. I'm interested in what he does. I am very critical because I think there are a lot of things to critique. But with this new project, 100 gecs, the 3 songs that he just released, I have to ask the question, is he brilliant? Or is he lucky? Releasing these particular 3 songs. Is this 4D chess, these 3 songs of this particular kind at this particular time? Or is he just sort of lucky? Were they sort of randomly chosen? Or were they just some extras, some loosies he had kicking around? I'm going to be sort of going into that and thinking about it. I'm not going to review the entire head top, all 100 gigs of his music, because that's, for real hardcore fans. And although I do consider myself a Drake fan, I do not consider myself 100 gigs worth of fan. So, what do these 3 songs tell us? I mean, there's no one clear direction. That's one thing that he does that's quite interesting. Here, it's not like the 3 songs all sound alike. They all sound different. They all sound like they could be taken from different Drake projects in the past. But the thing that he mostly does is he follows the 3 directives that I laid out for him a little while ago. So I made these 3 directives of how Drake should go forward. Number 1, and this is the most important, don't be a creep. That's the hardest thing for him to do. And for the most part, on these 3 songs, he managed to not be a creep. Don't sound like a colonizer. That one is the most open to interpretation. And then 3, don't help the ops. I think this is how he did his best work here. He is definitely not helping the ops. He is not really feeding into pre-existing narratives about him. And I think instead of being a creep colonizer feeding the ops, for the most part on this EP, these 3 songs, he's charming. He's doing the thing that he does better than any rapper in history, jumping between popular genres. He's not the best rapper ever to hop between genres. I still think that's probably Kanye. But, he's able to hop and sing and rap and have the Afro sounds and the kind of trap sounds. He's able to sort of do everything and nothing all at once. And nobody, and I mean nobody, in popular music does everything and nothing better than Aubrey Drake Graham. Thank you for auditing the Always Positive New Music Review Show, hosted by a French professor who, when I was listening to these 3 songs, I was strongly reminded of a particular Eminem lyric. I'm not like a huge Eminem fan either, but he has this one lyric, I want to say off his 2nd album, I am whatever you say I am. That's what Eminem says. And I sort of feel like this project, these 3 songs, 100 gecs, he's like saying that he is nobody. He is everybody. He is all things to all people, and therefore no things to no people. He is the nowhere man. And that seems to be both his greatest strength and his greatest weakness, because if he's somebody who doesn't really represent the culture, he might also be someone who doesn't represent any culture. And these 3 songs emphasize that while still being, let's be honest with ourselves, completely great, completely good songs. Good on the verge of great songs. 3 songs, 3 styles, 3 accents, 3 approaches. Drake, 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 Drake. My top 4 Drakes of all time are Drake, 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 and Drake. I listen to these songs a bunch, really quite a bit, and I enjoy them. I really did. The first time I listened to them, I wasn't quite sure. But what I like is that, he's not really directly responding to this moment of reduced prestige and place. And also, if we have to be honest, they're not great. These aren't like, oh my God, he's back. It's 10 years ago and he's at the absolute pinnacle. It's like in between, Take Care and that song with Sexy Red. He still has, just by doing this, he's maintained one of the most important things he can do, and that he does, is just being a real tryhard. And that's the thing that this whole beef has unveiled. That was pretty clear, I think, to most people who are observing him with any kind of analytical eye. The desperation sweat that comes off of him, how desperately he's trying to fit in, okay? Again, if you haven't seen FD Signifier's most recent video, he talks about it pretty well. Lil Bill does a great video about it as well. Speaking of beefs that can't be resolved. Really, there's a lot of great work on this sense that he has of someone who doesn't quite fit in. So this whole plan, the whole 100 gigs head top plan, is brilliant because it is really for his super fans. And it's hard for me to know because I'm 46 years old, right? Soon to be 47. So like, I don't hang around with Drake stans. I don't really hang out on Twitter, so I don't really know Drake stans there. For the most part, Drake stans stayed away from my videos. I did get a DM the other day, one of the hidden requests on Instagram. And it said, your channel is trash. Like, dude, why would you go effort to tell me? So I assume that might be a Drake stan. I don't know. Maybe he just doesn't like my steez. But I think this is a really great idea to put forward 100 gigs worth of music to prove the thing that seems like it doesn't exist. Like, if Drake has super fans, then he does have real value. If he is more than just simply the most popular guy, if he is, for some people, their favorite artists, their go on Reddit and say really weird, cringy things that I'm going to quote later on in the video, if he is also that guy, then that's something that maybe we need to respect. Maybe that's not just being a culture vulture, that's just making culture that people really like. And it's the weirdness of the thing. Because hey, all weird people are not creeps, okay? It's not creepy what he did. It's just weird. Like, you did what? 100, all this stuff? Like, that's a totally unheard of idea. That's an innovative idea. For the rest of time, we will say, hey, remember that time that artist dropped all that music and behind the scenes footage and all that stuff for all of his fans. Very cool, very interesting idea. I'm leaning more towards brilliant, by the way, than by lucky. Now, of course, he did steal the album cover art. Okay, I give Kanye credit for everything. But was the cover for Lift Yourself with the sort of MP3 image, was that the first artist to officially release this kind of placeholder image for a sound file as an album cover or as album art? I don't know. So how does he do it? How does he get around it? How does he make these 3 songs? Well, there are 3 songs and each one of them does different stuff that if you watch my video with Justin Hunt, if you haven't, punch yourself in the face, we talked about like, what can Drake do now? Well, one thing that he can do, and Justin really emphasized this, is lean into Houston and lean into the Southern American artists who have not abandoned him. You know, like find where the support still is, because we know it's not LeBron, okay? LeBron is no longer on Team Drake, right? So that's one thing he can do, and that's what he does in the first track. On the second track, he can lean into his Canada-ness. Now, I know the second track, this is where we're going to get in a little bit of trouble with the don't sound like a colonizer, because maybe he sounds like a colonizer, because it's a whole bunch of dancehall reggae and dancehall reggae adjacent music, but still that emphasizes the great Jamaican diaspora that lives in Toronto and in Canada and speaks to them. And much like I thought Wagwan Delilah was a good song, I said it. Wagwan Delilah is good. That is good Drake. In my opinion, that is good Drake. And then the third song, where he's rapping with and for women. You know, that's the other thing that he can do. He knows he is unrivaled, I think, in rap sphere of making music that is appreciated by men and also by women. And he's able to do that with the third song. It's a little Whitman's sampler, no pun intended, a little Whitman's sampler of Drake music where you just sort of go and you taste as you go. All right, let's go to the first track. It's Up, featuring 21 Savage and Young Thug. Nice kind of tinkling pianos to start. And then okay. The other thing, the fourth thing that Justin Hunt and I discussed is like honesty. If he could somehow actually share who he is, like in a real way, not just, I don't love my friends, I don't love my hoes, I just love myself, I just love my jet. If he could just get something real. So just this first line, I love all my friends. Oh, he loves his friends. Thinking about this life, I provide for them. Oh, hi, that's an arrow straight through the chest. You shouldn't provide lives for your friends. You see, friendship should be based on equality. So should sexual relationships, romantic relationships. That's the whole point. That's the whole thing. Okay? Mutual understanding of reciprocal freedom. I think that's how Simone de Beauvoir put it. You know, like that's what love is. You can't you can't love somebody and provide for them. I mean, you can, but it's mad difficult. Okay? You doubt me? You lend your friend $100. You lend your friend $100 or whatever hurts you. $1,000. You lend them $10,000. Whatever sum of money hurts you, you lend that to your friend and you see how that changes your relationship. It kills it. Friends and money, they don't mix. They don't. That's why. That's why. That's why so much of kind of modern rap, and especially the way Drake talks about people and money, it's just fake. It just doesn't work because it becomes monetary. It becomes exchange value, not friendship and love. So thinking about this life I provide for them, that's the whole problem right there. There's the problem, Drake. Don't provide for your friends. Your friends need a car. Tell them get a lease. Don't buy them a car. I'm helping you out, Drake. Don't give your friends money. Don't, because they're not your friends if you give them money. They're on the payroll. This world has some real things dividing them. Real right-hand Muslim. So he appears to be talking about the aftermath of October 7th. This is fascinating. This right here is like this hints at the brilliant, not lucky aspect, because I guess this is not an old song because he wrote it after October 7th. You know, Drake himself being, you know, technically actually Jewish, right? Because his mother's Jewish and growing up, I think, surrounded by Jewish culture. At least that's how he's described it in the past. And then having friends who are Muslim, you know, so this whole debate, and it really has everything since you know, this is no country for two-state men. You know, it's a very tough time to believe in the two-state solution. Okay, you get everyone gets angry at you if you're like, you know, I believe in the two-state solution. Everybody gets mad at you from both sides. And that's what I think Drake is trying to say. I find that relatable. Okay, I find that honest. I'm happy that someone is talking about the current situation that we're in, with everyone getting kind of torn apart. You know, my son was a freshman in college, and it just like hit entire friend groups just splintered. You know, because like one friend had family in Israel and another friend had a Palestinian family, and just forget it, just everything just. And here it is in this little Drake song. So props to Drake for accurately describing the time that we live in from a rather centrist perspective, I understand. And if you're watching this, probably not centrist, but okay. Road manager drunk as hell at 5 p.m. I don't know why he said that. Then we have a Young Thug verse. Okay. And so is he being a colonizer here? I don't know. I don't care about my ops. That's what he says. The beat develops nicely. This ghostly choir behind him. Cute Cardi-like keyboard whines in the back. And then we get this weird Drake chorus again. Just be weird, not a creep. Can we do that? Can that be the actual directive? Drake, you're a weird dude. Be weird. Don't be a creep. This isn't really a creep. Mercedes, one of one. Black on the outside, red like it's that time of the month. I know a lot of rappers refer to the color of cars in reference to menstruation. I guess it's not creepy. I don't know. And then he said, blood money, that's how I got this. So, how can we read this? Can we read this that Drake is trying to say that he got all of that money through crime? Or is the blood money the fact that he's on Lucian's payroll? Is the blood money come from the fact that he has exploited this art? Is he saying, Kendrick, you are correct. All of this money, all of this power, it's blood money. That's how I can afford this one-of-one Mercedes that looks like a tampon. And I guess that's cool, right? The tampon mobile is bought and paid for through blood money. Interesting. And then Drake goes into his verse. And again, we just have to stop pretending like this is bad. It's not bad. This is good Drake verses right here. Even some, solid defense of Young Thug. I can't sleep at night while Thug at Cobb County Corrections. I think he done enough reflecting. I think my brother learned his lesson. That's not really how the criminal justice system works. I don't know. I instinctively believe anybody who is accused of anything in the drug war, because the drug war is such a clearly manufactured crisis for people of color in this country. But I don't know. It's all part of the game. We got to roll with protection. And just like the mother effing judge, the hammers come out for objections. Hey, Drake, thank you. Strong lyric, strongly delivered, awesome. Funny, interesting, great metaphor, great simile. And then he uses the N-word, throws it right in there. I guess he's not afraid of that. Then he shouts out Texas and Junior Prince. Okay, he talks about horns on the car. So he's talking about this Mercedes, this one-of-one Mercedes that's red and black with horns on the front. He's going full demon style. This is Illuminati confirmed. Jesus Christ, don't take me seriously. Every once in a while I say things about Illuminati confirmed and people go, Sky, thank God you understand. No, there's no Illuminati, there's no Illuminati, there's no Illuminati. There are just rich people. And all rich people are super selfish and just trying to be richer. Fight the real enemy, which is the wealth gap. Okay, no good billionaires, okay? Focus on that. Focus on no good billionaires, not on the Illuminati. But still, it's pretty demonic what he's saying here. And to make it super clear, that was not a secret thing, saying, actually, by me saying I'm not saying there's Illuminati, that's me saying there is, okay? It's okay. You can't really win with folks when they want to see stuff that they think is there. 21 Savage comes in. He's good. He's funny. I guess there could be a Kendrick shot on this. I don't care. I don't care about it. I want to see Red. Clifford. Of all the rappers who deliver hardcore lines, no, goofy lines in the most hardcore way, 21 Savage just takes the cake every single time. He's talking about Clifford the Big Red Dog. He's talking about Clifford the Big Red Dog, okay? Clifford the Big Red Dog. You know the dog that's as big as a house, the little blonde girl runs around, okay? Like you play fetch with him and he brings back an entire tree. That Clifford the Big Red Dog, that's how far and weird and nerdy his references are going. I got a magazine who's got an issue. I like it. It's good. And at the very end, he tags it with, now he's often tags things with the P word for female genitalia, but for this one, he tags it with idiot. I'll come back to that in a second, because then Drake comes in and he's doing his like kind of charismatic thing where he's going with this ooh sound, you know, I'm 21, not 22, and it's cool. And he also ends it with a really strong idiot. So I really appreciate this. I think this is really great work, and I think this is very clearly a reference to this scene from Napoleon Dynamite.
Can you bring me my chapstick?
No, Napoleon.
But my lips hurt real bad.
Just borrow some from the school nurse. I know she has like 5 sticks in her drawer.
I'm not gonna use hers, you sicko.
See ya.
Oh, idiot.
So that's how I read the idiot that's being said by Drake and by 21 Savage. And that's my gift to you. Now I just want you to imagine Drake being like, idiot. Then we get to Blue, Green, Red. Am I 18 minutes into an 11-minute album? I'm only on the second song. Synths open, crawling melody, this kind of, okay, I don't know. I'm not an expert on all the different kinds of African, Caribbean-inspired style beats. So if you want to tell me in the comments, I would appreciate it. These kind of like rim hits, tick, 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 very, very syncopated, kind of dance hall, kind of reminds me of reggaeton, kind of reminds me of Latin funk, kind of reminds me of all these things, but I don't know the specific name for it, and it probably has one. Here's where we go to this whole part where, you know, try not to sound like a colonizer, he's talking about mandem, which is, you know, Jamaican slang for the plural of man. We'll get into that in a second. And then these very heartfelt lyrics. You know, he's talking to his mom about not being sober anymore. Friends that I treated like family, they were just hanging around. You know, he's always sung about not having friends, but maybe now that he's really lost so much, maybe it just hits more. Maybe it feels more honest and true. I love the way the drums build afterward, and he gets kind of clever with the putting in all the, you know, using homophones since we blew up and got green and leave some of y'all on red. So, you know, the song's called Blue, Green, Red, but really like the blue, you know, like blew up and then leave you on red. It's clever. And then we get to the post-chorus, and this is going to take me on a whole journey. You're going on a whole journey with me, everybody. Whole journey. Buckle up. Get one of those little bindles on your thing, because we're traveling across the American West. How many summers did I run up? Like 10. I got a show out in London. When the clock in London, Big Ben. I have to watch face like them, but me now watch face like them. They make lyrics for who men. We make y'all come then come again. So let's take this. First of all, it's homophobic. Now, it's homophobic in a culturally appropriated way. The plural of man in Jamaican patois is man dem, and the word men is Jamaican patois for gay men. Okay? I learned this when I was weird series of circumstances. I was with a couple other people I worked with, and they were both Jamaican, and we went to Florence, Italy, and we were walking around, and I taught them about Renaissance art, and they taught me about Jamaica and Jamaican patois. And I even bought like a pack of Men cigarettes. There's a cigarette brand in Italy called Men. It's very funny, long, thin cigarettes. And they told me that. It's interesting, you know, that men means gay men. So right there, what they're saying is he is attacking people for making music for gay men. That's what that lyric means. It's looking down on people who make music for gay men. But if we put that in the larger context of dancehall reggae that he is trying to allude to here, it's actually sort of culturally appropriate because, you know, dancehall reggae has long had a serious problem with homophobia. Okay, and I'm speaking as an outsider, and I'm not criticizing other people's cultures or saying that one culture is better than another. I would just say there are a lot of very popular songs. You know, Boom Bye Bye is a very great example of a pop reggae hit about literally killing gay people. The dembo, the rhythm that's at the basis of all reggaeton, is a anti-colonial, pro-homophobia song. Look into the history of it. It's all quite interesting. But the whole thing hinges on this. Drake is taking this. I'm not going to front. I did not know that this little bit was from a song called When by Tiger. Okay? However, I do know Tiger because I have this excellent compilation, Mash Up the Place by Rhino Records. You see Tiger right there, and his most popular song, No Wanga Gut, No Wanga Belly. Beautiful song about not wanting to get fat when you get middle age. Love it. Super relatable. Tiger is great, okay? No nyam nyam. It's a very funny song. But the song When is the song that Drake is quoting here. And if you look up the lyrics there, first of all, there's an earlier lyric that says 5 and 5, what you call it, 10. Is that a reference to how many stocks I got? 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 10. Is Drake playing 11D chess? I don't think so. But the lyrics from that song are just the other day, me go Japan when, what kind of money them spend yen, 4 and 5 and what the 1 the 10. So you hear you thief some money when, see come again. What the clock in London name Big Ben, 2 man, a love up, them a men. So the homophobia is in here in addition to the reference of Big Ben. Now, is Norman Washington Jackson getting credits on this album? Is Tiger getting credit? I don't know. In which case, you follow my goddamn lead and you go listen to some Tiger, okay? Listen to some Tiger. He's also called Ranking Tiger, but I just know him as Tiger. I'll include a link in the description. Listen to No Wanga Gut. The man is having some trouble. According to the Jamaican Observer on August 18th, 2023, he was found safe after 4 days' disappearance. Dancehall icon Tiger's game of hide-and-seek is now over. His daughter, Reality Check, is grateful that her father, legendary icon Tiger, was returned safely after he went missing for almost 4 days. The Comeback to Me DJ was reportedly staying at the home of a good Samaritan, Leonardo Reynolds, who gave the legend a room to sleep in after Tiger found himself marooned in a Greenwich farm. So whatever's going on with Tiger, the man was missing for 4 days. So I don't think it's going too well for him. So maybe this attention will be good for him, or maybe not. His daughter said, quote, I'm going to carry him home and clean him up and take care of him. He's not in the greatest of condition, but I'm so happy right now. Him never have to make it out alive is a dark place, and him it never have to end up so good. I'm not trying to be patronizing. I'm trying to read it as it's actually written, and it's written for Jamaican populace, so they're not sort of transferring it from Jamaican patois into more standardized English. So I'm just trying to read it like that. So anyways, just throwing that out there, okay? Is this colonizing? Is this just taking something from Tiger? Yes. Is he also putting a spotlight on Tiger and we're all going to go listen to No Wanga Gut, No Wanga Belly, Yum Yum, Licky Licky, right? Are we going to do that? Are we going to go listen to When? Because Tiger's great. Then the second verse is even more interesting. Please write my father and tell him I found some fortune and fame. They're going to try to behead me and speak on the family name. Like a weird sort of class thing, like putting himself in the French Revolution, and then also talking about meet the Grahams. It seems like it's a heartfelt response. You see, this is the thing. He's not feeding the ops. He's actually helping you feel some sort of sympathy for him, as opposed to coming out and being like, if I was really a predator, wouldn't they have caught me by now? Right? This is not helping the ops. Quite good. Then a whole verse about like Ethiopian women. Oh, please, dear God, someone else who's more qualified than I am, please discuss Drake's relationship with black women and how he presents them in his music. How he, as I believe the term that FT Signifier used was fetishize them. Please, dear God, someone else take the lead. I don't know. But he like describes different ethnicities within Ethiopia. Apparently the title is maybe a reference to the Ethiopian flag, although actually it looks closer to the Eritrean flag. I don't know. Lots of interesting stuff there. And then I was on the Drizzy Reddit, and just this is the kind of, hey, Drake fans, I'm not going to say who it is, but someone wrote this. One of the songs that gets the baddies wetter. Oh. The album ends, the 3 songs end with Housekeeping Knows featuring Lato. Weird opening. And this is the thing, like, Drake is everybody, Drake is nobody. That's what Drake always is. Always, always, always. He's nobody and he is everybody. It's a total Miami bouncy jam house song with Miami DJ to time, and these orgasm sounds, and it feels very much it's in the lineage of 2 Live Crew, sit on the stick while you ride on it. Well, I mean, I don't mean to be like a stickler, but like, you're riding on it, you have to sit on it. I mean, how? Like, it seems redundant, but it doesn't matter. And I like the sexy Drake lyrics here. I like them because they're interesting. They're not just like, like I did you and then I passed you to my friends and I dumped you off in metro housing. It seems like actually sweet. Like it actually seems like it's a for the ladies, I can't get 8 hours of sleep, not when you're laying next to me. It's the 3rd time we switching out the sheets. Housekeeping must know that we some freaks. That's a very relatable line, right? That's like a thing which, like, we've all had that thought before, probably, like, Jesus Christ. Housekeeping probably has some real ideas about what's been going on in here, Like, that's an awesome thing. And then the closest he gets to being a creep right here, East Coast girls popping ass and popping pills. West Coast girls do the same, but in the hills. Try harder, Drake. Southside girls, they know how to close a deal. What? Up in the 6, up in the 6, up in the 6. They do whatever they feel. What? So your thesis is this. Okay. Girls from the East Coast like to shake their ass and do drugs. West Coast girls are exactly the same, but they are in a hilly region. Southside girls know how to close a deal. It doesn't even make sense. And then up in the 6, they do whatever they feel. It just feels like and then Lotto comes in, the whole thing, right? The run to Atlanta, right? Is he helping the ops? Maybe. Because the whole line, when I see you stand next to Sexy Red, I see 2 B words, now he's standing next to Lotto. But, and she's from Atlanta, so, run to Atlanta when you need some street. But, though, the way they interact, it's organic, it's good. I really like the way this verse flows together. I think it's super strong. Attitude on Clayco, but my ass in Brazil. Lotto giving chills, Lotto giving thrills. We got home from work, now I'm naked in some hills. Almost had a heart attack, wrote me in his will. Just funny, interesting, engaging raps from Lotto. So there it is. I think in the end, I gotta say brilliant. Not lucky. I think he knew what he was doing. He did something for his super fans, and then he reminded us of the versatility that he has. And he managed to be himself. He didn't change himself entirely, but he is himself without being all of the things that we super duper 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 hate. So please go listen to Tiger. I'm going to listen to Tiger right now. All right? And I'll go to the gym because no longer gut. You know what I'm saying? All right. These are my Patreons. They help me buy music and diapers. I need more of the latter. Oh, if you like this, smash the like bucket. It's really important that you leave comments now. So you can put an AVAA, it stands for awesome video as always. Or if you think I've been unfair, that can stand for ass video as always. But be sure to tell me in the comments so that I know to be insulted, okay? Subscribe, all that stuff, all that stuff. Till next time, there's the camera.